Howdy, folks. My name is Marble, and my pronouns are she, her.
My name is Ray, and my pronouns are he, him.
And I'm Mars, and my pronouns are they, them. And now you know the power of the Millennium Ring!
Yeah, hey, quick question about what we just watched. What the heck?
Okay,
What the heck? What just happened?
It looks like that we just watched an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! That pertains to duel monsters, but
Yeah, so we watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1, Episode 13, Evil Spirit of the Ring, which the Japanese name is way better, Trap of the Metamor Pot, Flame Swordsman in Danger.
That's a long title.
It's a very long title.
That's a normal Japanese title.
Now,
right there.
I don't think that this was necessarily an episode of a show. I think it was more of an emotional journey that we all went on.
I agree. It was a bonding experience.
Here's the thing. It was pretty messed up, also.
Yeah, Tristan and Joey both know what it feels like to be dead.
The episode opens, basically, with Tristan dying.
Yep. Tristan wakes up.
We should get into the summary so people know we're not making things up.
Yeah, no. Let's do it.
Yeah, all right.
Also, welcome to Deck of Friendship.
Welcome to Deck of Friendship.
Friendship.
Yeah, this is a podcast where each week we talk about an episode of an anime that's based on a real life game.
We also talk about it after we
do talk about
which
it.
is cool.
It would be fun to just watch an episode and be like, we watched this episode. Thanks for listening.
That's it.
We've committed to this now, though.
Yeah, we've committed to it. We've promised, about 40 to 50 minutes of content every week, and we will deliver.
Now, maybe at some point you'll notice that there's just a skipped episode of Yu-Gi-Oh, but our podcast just keeps going. That's the one where we just watched it for our own entertainment, and you can't stop us from doing that.
You can't
It's
stop
true.
us.
This
It's
is
our
not a
podcast.
democracy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're not in charge, Susan.
You
Nope.
have no control over the direction of this podcast.
You hear that, Susan, who watches Deck of Friendship?
Susan.
We're gonna pull a fast one on you, Susan.
Yeah.
We love you and we support you, but you do not have a hand on this deck.
Yeah, you've got no hands on this ball, no hands in this pie.
I feel like I am specifically attacking Susan, and it is uncalled for, but I'm gonna keep doing it for the bit.
but here's the thing. You know that Susan was gonna try some.
Oh,
we've
yeah.
We've all been watching Susan.
Susan was gonna send me a VHS that says, you can't skip the episode. You have to do an episode for each one.
Now, I don't necessarily I don't have a big problem with Susan, but she does talk much trash about us at the potluck, and it is uncalled for.
One thing I will say, wonderful chili, great muffins, great corn muffins. She makes a good jambalaya.
Nobody's questioning that.
No one's questioning that. She's won the blue ribbon every year.
You're very good at what you do, Susan.
For her jambalaya, and it is well earned. We've all had it, and no one's starting any beef here because we all want that jambalaya. But what I will also say is, why you got to start so much beef, Susan? Right?
You have enough beef here of jambalaya. That sounds disgusting. So don't even worry about this.
And she always disses us in the 30 paragraphs of opening to her recipes.
Yeah, every time. And you know what, Susan? We're not here for it. You can listen to this podcast and you can enjoy it. You can leave us a review if you'd like. But throwing shade at us in your cookbook recipes, that's too far.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about the time that she tried to vague post about me on Facebook, but she accidentally tagged me in it?
Oh my goodness, Susan.
Oh, I guess it wasn't a vague post. She might have actually been calling me out.
I mean, she might have been.
Hang on, let me call Susan really quick.
Yeah, give Susan a call.
Yeah. Hi, Susan.
Uh-huh.
So I was just wondering, do you remember when you said all of that really, really terrible stuff about me on Facebook? And then you tagged me in it, remember? Was that an accident, or were you just trying to drag me to hell and back? Oh, all the way to hell and back. Okay. Okay, so it was all intentional. Okay, all right. Those things you said about my mom, I thought that was kind of uncalled for. What do you think? Oh, okay, all right, my dad too. Okay, well, that is going to be my time, Susan. I actually am recording. Do you have anything you want to say to the audience? All right, love you, Susan. See you at the next potluck. What a nice woman.
Hey, I got a question for y'all.
Lovely. Yeah, what up?
What are you bringing to the next potluck? Because I was thinking about bringing a chowder.
I was gonna bring
chowder. Yeah.
I was gonna bring some Millennium brownies.
That's a good idea.
I was gonna bring up a nice hot pot of greed.
Okay, so this is Deck of Friendship.
This is Deck of Friendship. Welcome to Deck of Friendship.
That was a perfect way to start the weirdest episode we've seen thus far.
Yeah!
I think we say that every episode now, so I feel like we're on a trend.
Fine.
Well,
it's
I think
fine.
that like they're taking us for a ride here in Yu-Gi-Oh Town.
Yeah.
So what happens?
Probably just the beginning.
All right, we gotta go through this as
yeah.
Because here's the thing: a duel happens in this episode, but it's
Does
less.
it?
But
Does
it's less. It's less than a duel is happening, and it's more like it's more.
It's a road trip.
It's more like the like high school production of a duel.
It's very theatrical.
Yes,
you're right.
it is. Yeah, it does take place in the actual Shadow Realm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
And everyone's souls are at stake.
Yep. Everyone.
Individually, like not just like, oh, if you win the game everybody gets their soul back. Like everyone's soul is attached to their favorite card, as it happened at the end of the last episode, and if that card gets sent to the graveyard, the person whose soul attached to it literally dies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tristan, we said that the episode opens with Tristan dying because Yugi summons
Cyber Chase.
Thank you.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Cyber Chase.
I'm Gilbert Gottfried. I can't do his voice right now.
Gilbert Gottfried, that's what he sounds
the
like.
Cyber Commander. Yugi summons the Cyber Commander, and it's Tristan. What? And then Tristan gets immediately destroyed by something. I don't remember. I can look at it.
And then
the white magical hat. And then he wakes up in a graveyard and
he finds his own grave with his name on it.
Own grave.
And then back in the Shadow Realm, Bad Bakura is like, Yugi, you just killed your friend.
Yeah.
I think is
because you
unfair.
wasted a card, not taking a shadow game seriously.
I think if you kill someone's friend and then you blame the person who didn't die for
Marble,
not being responsible enough to stop their friend from dying, that seems a bit unfair on Bakura's part. I'm just saying, like, he did kill Yugi's friend.
Marble, it's your fault that you didn't learn the stakes beforehand and didn't try to keep that in mind, and now Tristan's dead because of you. Okay. I was just playing the game like I'm supposed to. Maybe you should
playing
step
the game
it up.
and killing your friends. Oh gosh.
Marble killed Tristan Taylor. Put it on the wiki.
Put it on the wiki. Marble killed Tristan
Marble
Taylor.
Gamer Cantus.
So Tristan dies,
murdered,
and then
in
Bakura
cold
lectures
blood.
Yugi. Yeah, Bakura lectures Yugi at the importance of shadow games, and everyone's soul is at stake. And Yugi's like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, for once, somebody lectures Yugi,
and it's Bad Bakura, and it's a good flip of the script.
Mm-hmm.
So now we know what the shadow games are in explicit text.
No.
This is a shadow game.
This is one of many shadow games, or this is
a shadow game that Bakura concocted.
Okay, but this isn't what all the shadow games are.
This isn't what those old shadow games were all about. No.
Didn't we see a shadow game with Pegasus?
No, that was that wasn't.
Was that just a duel?
I think that was just like a duel. Like it's like another game that somebody with shadow powers does.
I thought it was implied to be a shadow game, but
the one with Weevil, that was a shadow game, right?
That was a bug game.
Oh,
I thought that like the ancient games that the pharaohs did were the shadow games.
Yeah, but there was some Pegasus is like trying to bring back the shadow games for some reason. I thought, no, is that not?
We're still not sure what Pegasus is up to.
Yeah, we're not 100% clear.
He's just chilling.
He's just reading comics and drinking apple juice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now we do know more about the shadow games now, though, regardless.
And then
Sure.
Yugi plays another card after killing Tristan.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, gotta swallow that pill.
Which one is it? Can't take time to mourn. Which one is it?
Was it Flame Swordsman?
It is Flame Swordsman.
The Flame Swordsman.
And we're talking like this because it's Joey Wheeler dressed as the Flame Swordsman.
It's Joey
Wheeler in a dress comes in as a Flame Swordsman.
Joey's whole bit in this episode, because like Yugi takes like a good 2 minutes or whatever just to catch Joey up on what's going on.
Yeah.
And like their exchange is amazing.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yugi is like, Joey, you're the Flame Swordsman. And Joey immediately responds, I'm the who?
Yeah, Joey's whole attitude during this whole affair is his whole attitude is, I'm pretty sure that I'm going insane, so I'm just gonna roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like I've lost my marbles.
Hey, that's you.
Hey,
It's me, hi.
Another cameo by
Marbled
Marble
Cantus.
Gamer Cantus.
It's me, Marble Gamer Cantus, here to tell you about an important issue. Children's souls all over the U.S. are being stolen by Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
This is
And
why
it's
the
up to you
game
to get
industry
them
should
back.
unionize.
This
Honestly,
is exactly why the game industry should
the card
unionize.
game industry is full of stolen ancient Egyptian relics and also souls, which is like a bad combination in my opinion. That's my time, everybody.
Thank you so much, Marble Gamer Cantus.
Thank you so much. Can we get
All right, bye.
Let me get some clapping.
Marble, you just missed Marble Gamer Cantus with a very
yes,
inspiring speech.
Yes,
She was
yes.
so
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh
reverent.
no!
Oh, my goodness.
I stepped out on purpose. She's actually kind of problematic, and I'm trying to avoid her.
What? Oh, we'll have to talk about that later, huh?
So next on, we have Dwayne The Rock Johnson coming on to talk about his new book.
Baywatch 2.
They made it into the movie. They decided that it wasn't. They didn't. The first one didn't make enough money.
So instead
they were gonna cut
real
down on
quick.
budget and make a book.
Real quick, instead of covering the episode, we're gonna inhabit the souls of various actors and actresses and pretend that we're them, a la this episode.
Okay, let's bring it back. Let's let's take this bit and bring it back down to earth. So Joey.
Joey's just like, okay, fine, I guess,
Mhm.
and then kills a card, I think?
He kills the white hat magician, and he
kills
says,
the white hat
"Say
magician."
goodbye to the cat in the hat."
Right.
He does say that.
He does. And I'm like, oh.
Thank you, localization team.
Thank you so much for this gift.
Thank you so much for this gift.
I bet that in the Japanese dub, Joey is so boring.
I bet he says all the exact same lines in English. I bet they didn't even have to change his voice.
No, you're right. I think he is canonically from Brooklyn, so
Yeah.
you're right.
Yep.
Just the only difference is that the English dub cut out all of the scenes of Joey being like, I don't actually understand Japanese.
Right, everything he just says just kind of makes sense.
And I don't know that you guys know
Serendipitously.
English. So, but we're friends anyway, and that's what
Friendship.
matters.
Bakura lays down a card, and then Joey immediately attacks it without Yami Yugi's consent, which I'm like, is that allowed?
Well, I didn't know
that's
he
the
could do
thing.
that. I would have been like, I would assume that the giant Yami Yugi, who has won like countless duels up until this point, I'd be like, hey, why don't we listen to him? Because he's probably our best chance at not getting actually killed.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about this, is that it's like, and why it's so messed up is that like, well, I don't know, would it be more messed up if they didn't have control?
I mean,
I don't know.
They should communicate with each
They
other.
should have a conversation.
Yeah.
They didn't. Instead, Joey just goes off and attacks the what's it called, Mars? Because I know you have it open.
The morphing jar.
The morphing jar, and that has an effect of destroying all the cards in the enemy's hand, and that could have killed another friend.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because Yugi and Teia's cards are still somewhere.
Yeah, Bakura's deck in this episode is, like, he picked out cards specifically with the goal of killing Yugi's friends.
But it's your fault for killing them, Yugi.
Yeah, it's
kind of victim blaming, I think, but you know, who's counting? Who's counting?
Somebody.
I think
So
we
I guess
are.
if you're an evil pharaoh, you make your own rules.
True.
I guess.
And so that's what happens. Joey apologizes for rushing head head first. And then Big Yugi draws a new hand, and lo and behold, Dark Magician is there.
Yeah, this is where it gets...
Because Dark Magician has to make an appearance every other episode.
Well, yes, because it's Yugi's favorite card. And because it's Yugi's favorite card, here's the thing. Yugi's, staring down at the Dark Magician card, and he's like, what happens when I play this?
Mm-hmm.
And then he does it.
And then he does it just to see what happens, I guess.
Boy.
Because, he's sick in that way.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, there's two Yugs.
Two Yugs.
Tugio.
There's Tugio.
And one is just a little bit taller.
Yeah, who they do call Big Yug.
Big Yug.
Yes, and so...
We call him Yami Yugi, they call him Big Yug.
Mm-hmm. So, finally, Small Yug and Big Yug finally meet and interact one-on-one, which I think is the most important takeaway from this episode.
Yeah.
For
is that
Yugi
and Big Yugi, they're not the same.
They acknowledge each other's existence.
But they are the same. But they're not the same.
But they are the same.
But they're not the same.
And at the same time,
okay.
They are the same.
But they're not the same.
What happens after this?
Yugi brings Tristan's soul back from purgatory is what happens.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Yugi draws and then activates Reborn the Monster.
Which it's kind of mean to call Tristan a monster, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing, huh?
Well, his soul is inhabiting the card of a monster.
I guess. It's a little insensitive.
Reborn the Tristan.
Aren't humans the real monsters?
Yes, they are.
They are? Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
Sometimes the real monsters is the corporate manager down the street and not the boogeyman in your closet.
Sometimes.
You've got to run away. Okay. And then Tristan comes back from the graveyard, is back from the dead, and
Tristan doesn't do anything for the rest of the episode, don't worry.
He tries, but that gets stopped. So Lil Yugi attacks a card, and he gets to say Dark Magic Attack because Big Yugi always says it, so I found that detail fun.
Yeah.
And it's another morphing pot, right?
You were close. It's a morphing jar.
Oh, sorry. Morphing jar. Darn it.
Get it right, fake gamer.
And that allows Yugi to draw 3 additional cards from his deck.
So Yugi's hand is discarded again, and then Teia's card appears. What was it? Magician of Fate?
That's me gasping. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then Big Yugi plays her face down, right?
Yeah, plays her face down.
Go ahead.
Well, okay. So there's 2 things about this. One, all of the boys on the field are like, oh, well, we gotta protect her and make sure Bakura doesn't see her. Which is like...
Why? I mean, aside from the fact that she's your friend.
Right. The other thing is that Bakura, sets the man-eater bug face down and says... This is the man-eater bug.
Yep.
And when it flips, it will instantly destroy any one of your monsters.
To which Teia responds, "Man-eater bug, glad I'm a girl."
Yep.
Which is my favorite line in the whole episode.
And it's also exactly how I would respond.
Yep, that was very good. But this whole time, the boys are trying to hide Teia's face down card.
And Bakura is like...
You know I can see you, right?
I can see you, you know.
It was so silly, but it made so much sense because she was moving around the whole time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And yelling and stuff.
Right. Of course Bakura's gonna see that. So I think that Bakura lays down the man-eater card mostly to just put Yugi in more torture of which friend he's gonna send to the graveyard.
Bakura is basically Jigsaw in this episode.
He is. Oh my gosh. I've never even seen Jigsaw, but the thrills and chills that this gave me makes me feel like I have.
Yeah. There were lots of twists.
Do you want to play a game, Yugi? A shadow game!
And then to be continued.
Sure thing, Bakura. That sounds like a blast.
Great. I'm glad that I can hang out with you, Yugi. I'm glad we're friends.
I can always make time for a friend.
Let's go for a picnic, Yugi.
Let's play Shadow Super Smash Brothers. First to 3 wins gets to keep their soul.
I wish Shadow was in Super Smash Brothers.
Don't we all?
He could have been an Echo Fighter. He could have been an Echo Fighter.
I bet his final smash would have been Chaos Control.
It would have been Chaos Control.
Hey, Yugi, Dark Bakura, I know this is really important to you, but we do have to continue the episode. Can me, Marble, and Mars, keep going, please?
No, Ray. Your friends are participating in a shadow game.
Okay, if I go on a picnic with you, can we finish this recording now?
We'll consider it.
Wait, no! It's friends now, picnic later.
No, the rest of the podcast will take place.
Okay, fine. You're my 2 new co-hosts. Okay, well, that's really bad audio ideas right there. Instead, you 2 are going to be my co-hosts for the rest of this episode.
There's going to be lots of wind and birds.
Ugh, what is Ray planning by making us his co-hosts?
Did you just use your Millennium Puzzle on me?
I will mind break you, Raymond. Don't test me.
You can do it later. So, Maneater Bug, they do have a plan because Yugi does put a trap face down. And I don't remember when it happened, but he did.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Also, hi everyone. I'm back from Bakura's dark embrace. Anyway. Yeah.
I'm here too. Hi.
Okay, so
I'm trying to find the name of this
Horn of Heaven.
Is it the Horn of Heaven?
It's the Heavenly Horn of Heaven.
Is the Horn of Heaven? Yeah.
It's Tifa's Horn of Seventh Heaven.
It's the Horn of Heaven. You are correct.
That was a reference, Ray. You did it.
You're welcome, Marble. Just for you.
Bum, 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 bum. Wow, that's the sound that plays when Ray makes a reference. And
it doesn't stop until I make another reference. Raikou. Okay, so...
Okay, so this is one of the more messed up parts of the episode. There are several.
Yeah, well, I thought this was really cool, but yes.
I almost cried.
So they're like, okay, the only way we're getting out of this is by using this trap card, which will destroy the Maneater Bug, but it requires a sacrifice. And I'm just like, if you destroy the Maneater Bug normally, it'll destroy you anyway. So it seems like it's going to be the same thing either way. But anyway.
Well, I think is that none of them were strong enough to kill it.
Oh, maybe.
They never said that explicitly, but that might have been what it was.
Potentially, yeah. And then... Tristan is like, I'll do it. I've been to the graveyard already. It's cool. I've set up a tent and I'm gonna live there.
That's dark.
And it is a little bit dark. And then Joey literally takes the pommel of his sword and hits Tristan in the stomach and is like, nah, me, though.
He interrupts Tristan's heroic sacrifice, and then he's like, I want to do a heroic sacrifice. It makes me a noble character.
Yeah.
And then he runs off.
This is part of my arc, Tristan. You don't get an arc.
I draw physical assaulting my friend so I can do a heroic sacrifice. And I play it face up in attack mode.
Serenity.
COD games.
COD games.
COD games.
Here's the biggest plot hole of this episode.
Okay,
Joey's
please.
willing to do this, but who will save Serenity?
I think
Han Joey?
I think it's because he thinks, because he said that he thinks he's like losing his mind.
Oh, I guess.
So I think that's why.
Okay.
It's because he's just rolling with whatever's going on.
Okay. So he
jumps on the Maneater Bug.
He jumps on the Maneater Bug.
He's like, sacrifice me, Yug. It's all good.
The Heavenly Horn is blown, and Maneater Bug and Joey are sent to the graveyard.
He's like, I did my heroic sacrifice, Yug.
And then the Reaper of Cards.
The Reaper of Cards shows up.
My notes, hold on, my notes in all caps says, Reaper of Cards? What?
Mine says in all caps, there's a Grim Reaper for cards.
It's the Grim Reaper, a little floaty dude, has got a bandolier of Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah, it was sick. I really enjoyed it. That's all the cards it's reaped. Not that many.
Not that many.
Yeah, honestly, considering how many duels we've seen so far, not many.
Or maybe that's just like
Real souls.
Once they fill up the bandolier, then they
have
like
to go empty it like Ghostbusters.
They empty it into a deck.
Right.
And then they've got a whole big deck box. And then they start over.
Now, we should talk about how they get like maybe 5 seconds of mourning, and then Taya cries magic tears.
Yeah, Taya saves the day with her special powers.
Special magic tears.
Yeah, so Taya cries, and her tears activate the Magician of Faith's effect, which allows Yugi to pull any spell card from his graveyard and put it into his hand. And he chooses Reborn the Monster.
Reborn the Tristan.
Now it's Reborn the Joey, and summons Joey back to the field, saving him at the very last second from the Reaper of Cards.
And Bakura's like, why are you wasting all of your time on your friends?
Basically.
And Yugi says, my friends are never a waste of time.
My friends are my power.
Exactly. This guy gets it.
And then...
There's a Kingdom Hearts reference.
Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba.
So here's maybe the most messed up part of the episode.
Yeah.
And that's when Big Bakura, and the reason why I say Big Bakura is because he summons Little Bakura.
With Change of Heart.
With the Change of Heart card.
Planning to use it to possess one of Yugi's friends and make them attack the other ones, further continuing the story of torture that he has installed.
He's a little bit sadistic, I think. I don't know, I'm starting to get that vibe.
If you want the key that's in your jaw, you will have to attack your friends.
He's kind of a rude boy.
A little bit. And so, yeah, he's just using Change of Heart to further torture Yugi and his friends. Mm-hmm. And then the Little Bakura is like, no. And then turns on Big Bakura.
Nope.
Like,
and then takes over Big Bakura's monster.
Which was like, what was it? Something of Faith. Another Lady of Faith.
Lady of Faith, I guess. Well,
everybody thinks it's that the monster is Bakura, but it actually is Bakura's monster.
Bakura... Little Bakura possesses Lady of Faith and yells at Yugi to attack him so they can end this shadow game.
Yeah.
And Yugi's like, but if I do that, you'll go to the graveyard and die.
And he's like, I'm okay with it. And then Yugi's like, okay.
And then Yugi...
And then Big Yugi is like, no, actually, I can just do a big swapsies. And now Small Bakura is the one holding the cards.
Back in his
and
body.
Big Bakura is in the Lady of Faith.
Yeah, he plays the big swapsies card.
The big swapsies card.
Yeah.
From his Millennium Puzzle.
Right.
Through his magic eye.
So now we know one of the powers of the Millennium Puzzle that he has is to swap souls for two people that are like already like their souls are in the same body, but they're also not. But they're also the same person, but they're also not.
Here's
the
thing. The powers of the Millennium Puzzle are whatever it needs to be at the moment.
Right. He says something along the lines of, if your Millennium Ring can put people's souls into cards, maybe I can do the opposite or something.
Yeah.
And then it just turns out that he can.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like, I have a hunch.
And
then Bakura dies. Evil Bakura.
Evil Bakura dies.
Yeah, here's the thing about this episode is that there was, because with a lot of the 4Kids dub, there's a lot of, removing the mortal peril of the situation.
Not in this episode.
Not in this episode. In this episode, they're like, oh, mortal peril? Oh, yeah, come down to our mortal peril warehouse, where we just got crates of the stuff.
We got man-eater bugs, we got morphing jars, we got Bakuras, whatever, you name it, we got it.
The Reaper of Cards?
We got the Reaper of Cards. Which I feel like should be a card all of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should, and it just sends everyone to the graveyard. No one wins.
So then Bakura's dead, and then Joey and Tristan do have a gay moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They have a gay moment.
It's true, yeah. So everyone gets freed from the shadow game. And then Yugi is just like, hey, Bakura, where'd you get your ring? And Bakura's like, hey, I got it from my dad.
You can get it in specially marked boxes of Kellogg's Frosted Flakes for a limited time only.
And like it's like apparently Bakura's dad went to Egypt and was also, I don't know, an archaeologist or an explorer of some kind.
Oops, he did a robbery. He did an appropriation.
He did an appropriation, but it wasn't real. He bought it from a merchant.
Yeah. Oh, he did buy it from a merchant. Yeah. Oh, you're right.
A merchant I just remember them showing eyes sold it.
I remember them showing the pyramids, and I thought it was a Pegasus situation where he stole it.
No,
but you're right. No, there was an evil merchant with glowing red eyes, and he was like, "There's probably nothing wrong with buying a ring from an evil merchant with red glowing eyes."
The merchant, Bakura says the merchant was all, "Hey, buy this ring. It has stuff to do with duel monsters, even though duel monsters didn't exist back then."
Well, so I think that we should be clear about what actually was displayed visually, which is he buys a box of haunted Frosted Flakes that's specially marked to have a secret ring inside of it, and then he gets the ring.
Yeah, but the Frosted
and Tony the Tiger has red glowing eyes as well.
Yeah, but the Frosted Flakes box is ancient
and haunted.
It's made of stone and marble. And
hey, that's you again.
It's me, Marble. I'm making a lot of appearances this episode.
Yeah.
Where'd your third co-host go?
It was made by a stoned marble.
Where are we?
I couldn't think of a stoned marble joke.
Okay, so the episode ends with the gang just being ha 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 ha, they had a gay moment, how cute, and then they hear Mai scream, and then there's a cool illustration of all of them running.
Yeah.
Now with Bakura as part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an episode.
It was certainly an episode. What did we all think of it? What did we all think of it?
I think that it took me on a very fun emotional journey. And I learned something about myself, and also, I remembered that I fear mortality.
Yeah, this episode definitely reminds me of my own mortality, for sure.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
We all have a limited time on this earth. That's the takeaway from this episode. It doesn't matter, because here's the thing, right? Is that these kids are in middle school, and they're fighting a game of life and death, in which two of them in this episode have already lost. And even though they narrowly avoided the consequences of that death, it is a reminder that there is no escaping your own mortality.
Yeah, I've been struggling, not to get heavy, I've been struggling a lot with my mortality these past few weeks, and this episode did not help me alleviate that anxiety that I'm gonna die one day, and I'm not comfortable with that at the moment.
Aw, Ray, come here, I'm hugging you. Can you, here, do you feel me hugging you?
I'm hugging you back.
Okay. Hug us some more.
But on a more, not more serious, on a more episode note, I guess, I thought the episode was okay. It introduced a lot of very important things that I know are coming back later.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very important episode. A lot of crazy stuff happens, for sure.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that it sets up Yugi and Yugi meeting, and this is the first time where I get to see, I get to hear most of the main cast in one episode, minus Kaiba and Pegasus for this season, because we get to hear Mai at the very end, Mai and Bakura and Kaiba and Pegasus, to me, are the main cast of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah. I don't know that this was necessarily 100% my favorite episode, not because it was bad, but because it was just so such a different tone than all of the other
dark.
episodes.
It was
so
show.
Dark. It was. This was
if this show was the entirety of the Sonic the Hedgehog video game franchise, I believe this one would be Shadow the Hedgehog, and I truly, truly mean that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although nobody has a gun. Well, Tristan.
Yeah. Tristan has shoulder guns. Hey, welcome to Card Corner. It's at the end this time.
It's at the end this time. It's Card Corner.
I guess there's no good segue into it aside from welcome to Card Corner. We're talking about
Hi, we're in Card Corner now.
We're in Card Corner now.
We're going to tell you about the Reaper of the Cards card that Mara so graciously found for us.
Yeah,
it's real.
I was wondering if it was
really?
I was wondering if it was a real card, and yes, in fact, it is.
Oh.
In the art for it, it doesn't really look all that much like it did in the show.
I mean, it's a Grim Reaper type thing with a scythe, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's close in the fact that it's, like, still very,
It's a Reaper of sorts.
It's, it's a Reaper.
It has the 3 glowing eyes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought one was a mouth.
I'm pretty sure one's a mouth.
It could be.
Or it's 3 eyes. I don't care.
It just got some glowy bits.
Here's the thing. Not all things need to have a mouth and 2 eyes.
That is technically true, right?
Maybe it's just 3 empty holes.
It could be.
Oh my god, it's Shy Guy, but like the fully evolved.
Oh my god, it's Shy Guy.
This is my favorite card.
Welcome to the show, Shy Guy. Why don't you take a seat and tell us a little about yourself?
Wow.
Oh, there's several of them.
Well, thank you so much, Shy Guys, for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
I'm
so
so
much.
glad you
Please.
talked.
Yeah,
thank you so
cheering
much.
up, actually.
Take care. Drive safely, okay?
Drive safely. Thank you.
Make sure to get gas on the way. Okay, they're gone.
All right, bye.
Well, I think they're Ubering, is what they said. I'm a little bit rusty on my E's.
I know.
But, I think that's what they said.
Yeah. So
I
this
can't
card...
believe they agree with us about Susan. Anyway.
Well, yeah.
Well, if you've met Susan, you agree with us about Susan.
I mean, they've
I'm
been...
getting a call. Hang on.
They've been to the potluck.
Sorry, I have to take this call from Susan really quick.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Susan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you hear what the Shy Guy said about you just now on our live recording of Deck of Friendship? Mm-hmm. Why don't you shove that in your casserole dish, Susan?
Oh.
You leave my mother out of this. She did nothing wrong. Well, that's when I remind you that I know your address, Susan, and I'm going to post it on Facebook.com. That's right, Susan. I'm using my doxing trap card.
Marble, you can't. Marble, you need to hang up.
I'm sending you to the Shadow Realm.
That's fine. Send her to the Shadow Realm along with her casserole.
Which in this case is I don't know, what's the internet Shadow Realm? 4chan?
Her jambalaya is well renowned, but her casserole is whack.
It's whack. You hear that? Your casserole's whack. All of us just said it.
Put her soul in a casserole and send it to the Shadow Realm. Anyway.
Put her soul in the Millennium Casserole dish. I'm hanging up on you. Don't ever call this number again.
You've exclusively called her.
No,
she called me the second time.
This time Susan called.
Oh. Okay,
yeah.
Well.
So Reaper of the Cards is very strange.
Yeah.
Mostly for the
So was that conversation with Susan.
Yeah, it was. This Reaper of the Cards has attack of 1380 and defense of 1930, and I just am uncomfortable with those numbers for some reason. They're just so not even.
Yeah, they're so I'm so wondering why it was balanced that way. That's so strange.
Now the issue with that, Raymond, is that they are even numbers actually, though.
Yeah, you're right. It's also a dark card. It's a monster type card, and it has a 5-star level. It has it's a fiend type, and it has an effect. When you flip it, you choose a trap card on the field and destroy it. And if the selected card is set, whatever that means, pick up and see the card. If
set means face down.
Oh, okay. And if it's a trap card, destroy it. If it's a spell card, return it to its original position. So you can just destroy traps or look at a spell card, I guess.
So the way that I'm looking at this makes me question how it would be used in the context of the show, considering we now know that it has real life consequences. It is literally a soul stealing beast that lives in the realm of the graveyard when you play games in the Shadow Realm or whatever.
No,
right.
The other question is
if Joey pulled a pack of cards from the store, he went to cardstore.com and he bought a pack of cards and they mailed it to his house and he popped it open and he saw the Reaper of the Cards. I think maybe he would maybe have a little bit of a flashback from that because that was maybe not great.
Yeah.
He legitimately thought he was gonna die.
Although at the end of the episode, They're like, oh, we all just had a collective dream. How weird. Oh,
Yeah.
well.
But when he pulls that card, he will remember.
Right, and only Bakura and Yugi remember officially what happened.
And they're not saying.
Yeah, which I'm like, why? Is it a secret that there are spirits in your Millennium items? Is that part of the rules?
I don't know. I don't know what's up with these fools.
Anyway, the team needs to go save Mai right now so she can embrace friendship.
Yeah.
You know what? This is too depressing. Let's all watch Sonic X.
All right.
We gave Yu-Gi-Oh! A good run Sonic X time.
And
we're about to review the entire series. So we're going to do a brief cut, and then when we come back, the rest of this episode is going to be the entire series of Sonic X, okay? All right, so 3, 2, 1, cut.
All right, so welcome to...
Howdy, folks. My name is Marble, and my pronouns are she, her.
My name is Ray, and my pronouns are he, him.
My name is Mars, and my pronouns are they, them. And what was up with Eggman at the end, okay?
It was a good show.
Anyways, was a good
show.
I'm
Marble. This is a light show compared to Yu-Gi-Oh! Everyone died.
Yeah, like at the end, Eggman just like activated like the Kingsman serum or whatever that makes everyone go killing spree, you know.
And Sonic killed Chris with a gun. Like,
yeah. Sonic killed Chris Redfield from Resident Evil with a gun.
His own gun.
Well, I think that if you just look at it on a surface level, it seems really dark. But I think that like the themes are like more important, which is like hope and friendship and
what hope? The series ends with the world literally shattered into giant pieces that are on fire.
Yeah,
while
but you
Eggman
also have to remember
his robots laugh in a big spaceship.
There is like that tinge of hope because we see Silver's hand pick up one of the emeralds as Eggman is laughing at the end. So there is hope for a next series.
This is a bad Newgrounds cartoon, y'all. I don't like it. I'm not here for it.
But then it pans out and it's one of Eggman's robots holding Silver's hand.
I just wanted to do a funny bit where we ended the episode pretending that we watched the entirety of Sonic X, and now it's this. Y'all are in a dark mood from the episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! We just watched. I understand that.
This is our podcast.
I don't like it!
This is our podcast, Susan! This episode's over.
So, before we wrap up this episode, there's been something I've been meaning to do.
And also something Ray's been meaning to do.
It's true.
We have a couple of iTunes reviews that I want to read.
People listen to us?
Oh, actually, here's the thing, Ray. A lot of people listen to us. It's weird.
What did this?
A couple of people have left us all 5-star reviews on iTunes. Thank you so much.
Aww,
thank you.
That warms my heart. This is the first I'm hearing about this. I don't have iTunes on my computer.
I haven't looked. I just know we have reviews.
So, the first review is from the Giuseppe.
I know him!
Who got in the game early. He is self-proclaimed and is actually most likely true. Our first fan. The subject line is my favorite podcast. Joe says, this podcast has easily dethroned any contenders. It is my favorite because it is the best one, objectively. Even though DOF covers subject matter that I'm not terribly interested in, all of their discussion is interesting anyway and easy to follow as a standalone show. The hosts perform a perfect trio of comedy. The natural chaotic energy is amplified by one another. But there's almost always one person left to ground the others and appreciate the storm alongside the listener. Not only that, but the hosts are genuine and sweet. It's a show that is very much about the value and power of friendship, and that's wonderful. Ray, Mars, and Marble, my turn is over. It's your move. In parentheses, send me a VHS tape.
Oh my god, that was so sweet. I'm like tearing
all
up.
Tears. Oops.
With the
Joe,
I almost did a swear again. I almost did a swear in the episode again.
Joe, I know you're my best friend, but you're literally making me cry on my own podcast right now, which we do on mock footage anyway. Oh no.
But that's not all.
Oh no.
It's not.
What's behind door number 2? It's Cyber Soul Gem, which is that's a Yu-Gi-Oh name if I've ever heard one.
It's a really good name.
It is.
The subject line is a fun listen. I started listening to this after it was recommended by Badvertising. I'm personally a big fan of game and monster anime, so this seemed like my cup of tea. The discussions are really interesting and in-depth. They bring up ideas that I've never would have thought of in the context of Yu-Gi-Oh! It makes me really happy that more people are getting into Yu-Gi-Oh!, a series that is very close to my heart. Your move. Also, by the way, I'd love a VHS.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Oh,
Jeez.
Thank you so
This
much,
is-
Cyber Soul Jam.
This is exactly what I needed. This is making my heart all warm.
And then finally, what's behind door number 3? It's MT Hypotenuse. Who writes, the subject line is, very enjoyable. While I usually spend all my time in this chair, reading my comics and sipping from my juice glass, I recently discovered this podcast, and I must say, it's an absolute delight. I rate this podcast 7 out of 7 Millennium items for being such a rip snorter.
I've never been called a rip snorter before.
I've never heard the term rip snorter, but I do love it.
I absolutely adore it. Thank
you so much,
much.
MT Hypotenuse.
I treasure you.
MT Hypotenuse did not personally request a VHS tape, but
But my
You're still
promise
getting one,
did.
right?
My promise did.
I don't know how you're gonna fulfill this promise. To be
So-
honest,
Is there an
Ray.
expiration date on that, by the way, or like a year from now, if somebody's like, "Can you send me a VHS tape?"
I
are you
thought
still
I
gonna
thought
be
it was like
yeah, okay.
I thought it was like the first 5.
We'll
First
figure it.
5?
I'll listen back and figure it out.
Okay.
I'll figure this out. So I'll send you a VHS tape review, folks. This is a great segue into our closing bit, where you can contact us. Mars, take it away.
Yeah, I don't know how you prove that you did an iTunes review, but prove it, I guess.
Somehow
Prove
prove
it.
to me that you made the iTunes review.
And Ray will send you a personal VHS tape. No one knows what will be on these.
Nope.
Except for Ray. Maybe
don't even-
maybe Ray knows.
I have a few ideas.
I legitimately can't believe you're still on this. This is the most I think it's the most I've been the most opportunities I've given you to back out of this.
Yep.
I am not backing out. We've gone over this. You're so scared for me, but I am here for the challenge.
All right. Well, I guess our hand's been played. Thank you so much for listening to Deck of Friendship. If you enjoyed the show, please, leave us a rating on iTunes. That would be really, really incredible. If you leave a review, we will read it out. And if you don't want to leave a review, you can still leave a rating, as it turns out. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us on Twitter at Friendship Deck and at our Twitter or at our email at deckofriendshippod@gmail.com. I guess, yeah, just send your proof of
Prove to me that that's your iTunes account somehow by taking a picture or something.
Without divulging any obviously harmful personal information.
Yeah.
Be responsible about this whole thing. We're flying by the seat of our pants here. We're just rolling off of Ray's wild whims.
That's what we all do.
This is Ray's podcast. We're just living in it.
Yeah. Our turn is over. Your move.